Hey guys, Kev here, and I have a review to do for you. So this is the Vosteed NightShade. I did an unboxing, sort of face cam style, a few days ago, and I've had, two versions of this knife. I don't know how many versions of this knife I've had, and this is another version of it. Obviously, it has a hole. It is a liner lock. It has brass or rose gold kind of pivot collars, and then it has a right hand carry only deep carry loop over budget clip, which is kind of annoying because everything else about this knife is pretty ambidextrous, except for obviously where you push the lock. But other than that, it works great left-handed. Why wouldn't you make the clip reversible? They've done that a few times now, the Labrador as well, and it does bug me a little bit. So I want to point it out. This is in 154 cm. They do a lot of that at Vosteed now, which is fine. I will take that over I'll take that over 14C, and it's usually really well done. So I'm happy with that. Also keeps the price down for people. Full disclosure, this was sent to me by Vosteed, so I did not pay for this. Take everything I say with a grain of salt. It has a really cool acoustic. It almost sounds like a ting or something. I mean, I don't know if you can hear it ring. It's not every time, but when it does it, it sounds really cool. It's kind of like I don't know how to explain it. It's a ting of some sort. I dig that. There is no play in any direction. You can see the action is really good. I have not touched this pivot. Have not disassembled this knife. Don't feel the need to. It feels really solid. It is dead nut centered. You have satin liners, which are proud. You have satin hardware. Again, you have that rose gold, coppery pivot collar. On the blade, you're looking at a satin finish, sort of a machined satin, not quite belt satin, but it looks good in my opinion. You have standoffs back here. You have black micarta scales. You have jimping up here, which is not very aggressive, but it's there, kind of pointless jimping. You have Vosteed on the blade, so for billboarding, we do have a little bit of it going on. You do have a sharpening choil, but the plunge grind, the plunge grind ends well behind it, so it's in a good spot. Can you see that shadow right there? It's about halfway through that sort of half moon. That's where your plunge grind ends, which to me means you could sharpen this a few times before you get any issues there. The hole is interesting. So first off, this detent is pretty stout. Or the hole placement makes it feel stouter. And you guys know I like that. But it is to a point where sometimes I feel like I actually fail it because of it. But that's not bad. That's fine for me. The hole is really sharp. It's got, if you guys have ever had at least the early versions, I don't know if it's still a thing. Yeah, it is. The F5.5. They started doing a chamfer right around here. I don't know if they always had that, but even this one still feels a little bit sharp. The hole has a sharp edge, so it would kind of rip at your nail, right? This does feel better. I think you know what? Maybe because of the hand satin, it knocks it down. Let me see if and then the PVD is going to, yeah. So I don't have a good example. If you have the belt satin ones, you'll know what I mean. It's very sharp corner there. And this has that. I mean, it really tears at your finger. Let's see if I can zoom in, see if any of my skin's hanging on there. Yeah, there you go. You can see some of it right there. So it just has a pretty sharp transition, which is good for catching your finger, right? But it also feels rather sharp. So I just want to point that out. I like it. Overall, I like the hole and how it's done. But I wanted to note that. Right-handed, thumb flick is really good. You have that key-shaped hole. You can really get in there with your thumb. I mean, easy peasy. I can go straight up. I can go out. No problem. Slow roll. No problem, right? Right-handed reverse flick, I can get in there nice and easy. Fire it out. This is a knife where I could do the detent brake trick, where I just ride it to the brake and it will fly out. It does feel like a short travel, because I guess it is. I mean, it's kind of a banana knife, you know, kind of shaped like a boomerang. So when it comes out of the handle, it comes around and it locks up pretty early there. Not early in the sense of the lockup. Lockup's really good. But early in like the travel of the blade. I don't know if I mentioned this in the unboxing, but you know, you just take another knife, like here's the Jaeger. You open this handle, very straight knife. You open this handle, you come around, and you lock up, and you're pretty straight, right? Where this, you come out, you come around, and boom, you're already locked up. It just feels like a short amount of travel when you flick it. Like you flick it, and it's already locked up like instantly. I don't know how to explain that in a better way, but it's not necessarily not satisfying or something, but it's just a little weird, that's all. Left-handed reverse flick is good. I do wish, again, the clip was reversible, so I'd kind of have something to grab, but it works. I do kind of tend to get too far into the hole, actually, but I think it's more of an adjustment to the ergos than anything else. I don't think it's the knife or anything. I think I just need to get used to it. Again, can ride that detent out. Good amount of room there. Fire it out, right? The lefty thumb flick is where it gets a little bit tricky. Kind of covered by the scale there. So slow roll is easy. I can flick out pretty good. Flicking straight up is hard because, you know, it's almost like if I get it, I'm on that blade right when I fire it because of that boomerang effect. If you look at a knife like the F5, when I fire it with the thumb, right, my finger is not like right on the blade. It's down here on the handle. Where this, I fire it and I'm almost like right there because of the boomerang effect. So it's not the best lefty thumb flicker. Honestly, you guys know me. I'm not going to be doing that anyway. I'll be doing this the whole time. So the closing action swings down and then a gliding shake maybe, right? Detent break is pretty early. See, it's right here. That looks late, but it locks up right there. So it's not traveling very far from lockup position. And then break. And it's very smooth. You get past that break almost immediately. Very smooth transition. You just push the lock bar, and I mean, I've never had it catch on the lock bar like this, right? Because I'm pushing like that. Boom. Good to go. Left-handed index finger release works real easy. Just come across, shake it down. You can also do the old, you know, cross draw move like this. So it works really well left-handed, just doesn't have a lefty clip. Overall, I mean, the knife is really good. The ergos are solid. I'm not a big fan of pistol grip or banana-style knives. This one's more pronounced than the Fox knives Chillin'. I know this one's going to get compared to it a lot. I know a lot of people are out there screaming rip-off and whatnot. This is a case, to me, of two independent companies coming out with the similar product. Not the same product, a similar product, similar design. Because you can see the progression of this knife, right? If you go back through Vosteed's past, they had the NightShade in like a more premium version. It was one of their first knives they came out with. Then they added a flipper and went budget, right? And then from there, they probably had people telling them, hey, do a hole, do a hole, do a hole. So they did one with a hole, and they decided to do a key shape hole. That's one thing that makes it look a lot like the Chillin'. But I can tell you right now, the ergos are different. The handle is different. The blade is different. It's more of a banana shape than the Chillin' is, a little bit straighter. The Chillin' is a little more like, to me, it's a little more thin and then gets wide up here, where this one's kind of almost, it stays thicker throughout this way. ergos, again, are different. That one has a little more to the handle. Personally, I think this one's more comfortable, but it is a little different. It doesn't have a designated sort of finger area here. It's all neutral, and that to me feels a little more comfortable, honestly, which is hard to say because, you know, that's a Vox knife, but this feels really good. They did do a crown spine, which is a nice touch. I like that. So it's different in many ways, but overall silhouette and whole, yes, they look very similar, and that's why people are they're just gonna believe what they want to believe. But I don't think Vosteed was like, ooh, look at that knife, right? Like the Schillen blade shape is a thing, right? This blade shape, this design is a thing. It's like Jack Wolf with their knives. None of those are ripoffs. They're just traditional patterns that he's putting his spin on. That's kind of what's going on here. Fox did it, and now Vosteed did it. But there was a progression here. You know, if they had just come out right away with this one, then I would have agreed with people and been like, yeah, it's a lot like that Fox, you know. But the timing, for one, like it's too quick for them to be like, oh, let me copy that, you know. And then two, you can see the progression. There was the Nightshade, then the budget Nightshade flipper, and now this, right? It's just, it's not a thing. So, you know, you guys can put your swords away or whatever, your pitchforks. But overall, I really like this knife. I think if you're trying to pick between the two, because that's probably a thing, you know, if you really like this design overall, a silhouette overall, and you're like, man, do I want to get the Chillin or the Vosteed Nightshade here? It's a tough one, guys. I mean, this one's really well made. I mean, they have different versions available. The action is really good. So is the Chillin, but the action's really good. You have good steel, 154 cm. I would venture to guess the heat treat and overall performance of this might be better than what Fox is doing on that M398, because the M398 is, as far as we know, is cooked around 60 HRC, which is not optimal for M398, where this is probably in a good range for 154 cm. Price point, you know, this is around $70, where the Chillin starts, I think, at 140, 150, and those are even in N690 unless you get the micarta and M398. That one's 150. So, you know, there's a big price gap. And do you really want N690 in aluminum for $200 when you could get micarta and 154 for 70? I don't know. Now, the more pronounced hook on this could be a detractor for some people, right? I can tell you the Fox comes with steel bearings, pretty sure. Yeah. Brass cage, but it was steel bearings, which is unfortunate. The clip on that knife is pretty bad, the wire clip, the way it is. You have to put a lynch clip on it, basically, or something to make it a little more comfortable. This clip, obviously, is just a budget deep carry clip, but, man, it works really well. It disappears, feels good in hand, good pinch grip. I mean, this knife is really good, and so is the Chillin. I mean, the Chillin was one of my top knives of 2022 in that category, so I'm not sitting here saying that knife's not good. But if you're on a budget or you just want to, you know, try to save some bones, this is a really good piece. Friday night gas station, 7-Eleven grip, you are good to go with this thing. Definitely feels a little bit like a tactical offering here, because I got a boomerang scythe right here, you know. Anyway, you guys let me know what you think about the Vosteed Nightshade with the hole here. I don't know if they're calling it something else, but I appreciate them sending it my way. Really cool of them. I recommend it. I really recommend it. This is probably my favorite knife they've made that I've handled. I've tried the Valkyrie, the Raccoon. I've tried the Labrador. I've tried the... Is that it? I might have tried some other ones. Oh, the Bellamy. Still haven't been able to try that Thunderbird. I think that's all the ones I've tried. And this is by far my favorite. I mean, you can see that thumb flick is just really good. It's up there with the F5.5. Now, I keep comparing it to the Chillin'. That one has fantastic action too. At least the ones I've handled, the detents are dialed. The hole is really set up well, but you do have to put skiffs in it to make it feel less jank, and you got to put a clip on it. So, I mean, even if you get the budget one for 150 bucks with the soft steel, then you have to spend another 50 bucks to upgrade it. So, you know, you could just spend 70. But if you want to support Italy versus supporting China, totally get it, right? There's another argument for you. So you guys take all this information, boil it down, and you make your choice if you're trying to make a choice. If you're not and you're just watching, thank you. And that's it. I absolutely love you guys. I think this is a great knife. Good job, Vosteed. Really digging this one. And I will link it down below. I believe I have a link to their listing on Amazon for this. And then I'll list their website as well. I do have an affiliate link. Both of those will be affiliate links. So if you use them, that'll help the channel out. But you obviously don't have to do that. So yeah, I love you guys. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day. And I will catch you later.